Alright, what you see here is a SMC industrial ceiling fan model M48. I got this from Mark Welker quite a few years ago, back in 2017. He brought this to Fanimation and Mark Wilson brought it back for me. And since then I haven't really done anything with it, except recently I got another M48 from him that actually had the bottom cap for it. So I figured I'd put that on this for the test video. Now, these are very big childhood fans for me, more specifically in the brown finish, because my aunt had one in her daughter's bedroom in the Dominican Republic. Though around 2009, going more so around 2010, they took it down and replaced it with a KDK B56X5 industrial ceiling fan. It's the one that's in her back deck area right now and such. But yeah, she didn't throw it away. Thankfully, she actually just gave it to someone that she knew that was dirt poor, so it went to good use and such. But yeah, it's that the one I'm talking about is the one that's been shown in quite a few of my slideshow videos, where it has the canopies upside down, reversed, where the beehive one is on the bottom and the smaller one's on the top. Now, I remember her telling me that she got that fan from Miami, Florida. So it's definitely was brought over from the United States. Same thing with that hugger ceiling fan, the bladeless one that I got from her, that used to have stencil blades to it, but I just don't know what happened to them. I don't know how old that SMC fan was. It has to be from the late 70s, early 80s. I always thought that the KDK that she had, the original one that she had downstairs that was really rusty, was older than that, but I guess it wasn't. This one, I actually do know the date on it finally. It's on the capacitor. But just seeing one, like on video after all these years, I recognized it when it didn't have the bottom switch cap. I saw many videos of them before, but they always had this little button on it, which basically unscrews like this. So this is how I would see the one at my aunt's place, but in brown with the canopies reversed. And one thing I noticed on it was that it had two wires, or a wire of two, hanging out. So that tells me that they used to have it with a light at some point, but then they removed it. Because otherwise, if there was no, it's one thing if to switch the bottom button thing up went missing, but they had wires coming out of it. Not too low, it was like maybe like up to here or something. So it had a light at some point. I'm guessing it just stopped working, so they just took out the light altogether. But yeah, I really do like how it looks with that. It's more childhood for me without it, but I do like how it looks with it. It reminds me of one of the KDK industrial ceiling fan that was at Pet Shoes, the one that I couldn't get when they renovated the place and such. Yeah. So it is from September 25th, 1978. So it is literally one of the oldest fans in my collection. The canopies have since split in half, as that one was already cracked. Well, no, it was this one that cracked, and the other one cracked more. I Gorilla Glued it back together, so now it's not going to go anywhere. And the beehive canopy I Gorilla Glued together because the parts I kind of connect together, they kept falling apart, so they wanted to stay together. So I Gorilla Glued those together, so now it's not going to go anywhere. Now, the blades are a little bit yellowed compared to the fan motor. It's nothing major. But as you can see, they do have some nicks on them in certain places. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, the fan's 40-something years old, almost like 45-ish years old in a sense. So it's like, I'm surprised that it's in this good of a condition for its age. Especially if it was down in Florida, where you tend to see them more, fans like this get more rusted. These were more residential fans, I guess, back in the day. I mean, they are industrial fans in my book because they have metal blades and such, but kind of like with KDKs where you can have the light on them and such, that's what makes these considered a residential fan in a sense as well. Now, since these fans originally would have came with a 5-speed choke control of sorts, since I remember seeing Jonas' fan having one that he found and it came with the control as well, I figured instead of using the 4-speed Weathertone control, I'd use the 5-speed K2K while control, just to show it with the 5 speeds. It's probably going to be a little bit different, but at least with that, I'll control it with 5 speeds like it would have operated with back then. So, yeah. Another thing I think I mentioned is that blade is bent. It came to me like that, so I'm not going to really bother messing with it too much. So the blades are pretty solid and not flimsy like later SMC stuff. It is a stamped steel motor. It's not cast, but the fan does perform very well. So, yeah, let me go ahead and start off on speed 1, which is low. I was really thinking of showing it without the bottom button on it, but I think it just looks so much better with it. But I definitely can see myself doing a video of it without it in the future, because it is childhood looking for me that way. I might actually, I'll just take it off from the fan in the video. That's what I'll just do it at certain points. Of course it wobbles, and that's because that one blade's bent. But yeah, I always remembered like trying to imagine one of these in white as a kid, because of the one that my aunt had in brown. Yeah, the one that's bent kind of more bent a little bit upwards, so that's, thankfully it's not downwards in a sense. I might push it down a little bit more from like the blade arm portion of it, but I would have to really hammer it out just to flatten that spot. But it doesn't really affect your performance, and I'm just testing it, so I'm not really gonna try. I'm really not gonna mess with it. But yeah, this has definitely been one that's I've been meaning to test for a very long time. I just figured I'd wait to try to see if I can get another one that has a button on it before I tested it. That, and I also needed to find the other part of the beehive canopy, because that was the other thing that kept me from testing it earlier when I started testing stuff down here. I would have got it tested last year, but I just didn't know. I know where one of the beehive canopy parts were, but I just couldn't find the second part for it. It has a good low speed to it. I think I just do the K2K control, because I know a lot of the 5-speed controls that they use like in like the third world countries and stuff, they usually tend to have the same values. I know some countries had. Thing is, I know that a lot of the industrial ceiling fans are also sold for residential use, would usually have the same capacitor values and such on the 5-speed control, including this K2K industrials that were sold for resident, like in the Caribbean countries, like the metal bladed ones, not the pull-chain ones. Even the Sanyo industrials, I know, would usually come with 5-speed controls and such. But yeah, let me go ahead and move it up to speed 2. This is my first time seeing this fan running on a slower speed and also feeling the air moving, because the one that was at my aunt's house was just on a on and off switch. Does have a little bit of bearing noise to it, but nothing severe. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a video of it without the button cap on the bottom. I just don't want to take it on and off throughout the video. I just did it only when it was off. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to finally have this fan hung up for testing after having it for so many years. Yeah, I know Mark Wilker has a video of this on his channel, I'm pretty sure. And I know Mark Wilson, when he brought it back for me, he did a video of it at his place as well. So I will be posting the video links for that in the description below. And like a typical SMC fan, it has white and red wires instead of black and white ones. Moving good there on speed 2. Alright, now to move up to speed 3. It's probably gonna go a little, it might go a little bit faster than it normally should with this control, only because with this being a 48-inch fan and the control being meant for a fan that has 56-inch blades, it probably goes a little bit faster than it should. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it could be the case. It's not that it's gonna fall, it's just the bottom canopy, no matter what I do, if I try to screw it in, it just does not stay in place. So that's just the sound of the bottom canopy kind of bouncing around against the metal. It also sounds like maybe one of the blades is just a tiny bit loose. That could be it too. I'm gonna go down this speed. Yeah, it's not the blades, it's just the one of the wires hitting against it. Okay, now for speed 4. Yeah, just on speed 4, this thing's flying, so. So this one is basically a high speed, but I'm guessing with the control I'm using, it's making it go faster than it typically would. Like, I know I tightened all the blade screws well, but they could be loosening up just a tiny bit. One of them. Yeah, this thing's flying on the high speed and it's moving a ton of air. It's funny because I remember when it was the one that was at my aunt's place. I don't remember it feeling that strong of a breeze from underneath it. But I mean, it was also a lot hotter down there than it is here, so that is another factor. I would say I didn't feel anything. I did feel a breeze from it, but it didn't feel like this. I am a lot more up close to it too, so that is another thing. Alright, now for speed 5. So it does go just a tiny bit faster, but not by much. But yeah, this thing isn't insane on high speed. Again, it's most likely the control being having a capacitive value to a fan that's 56 inches and not 48 inches. But you know, this thing's really, really powerful. Yeah, and honestly, wouldn't surprise me if these were sold in the Dominican Republic at some point in time. But yeah, the fact that my aunt got this from Florida makes me think they didn't. But yeah. Right now, let me shut it off and you spin down. Definitely glad that the fan didn't wobble too much on the 4th and 5th speed. Only on the 3rd speed. I always did wonder why my aunt had that fan replaced with a KDK. Because from what I recall, I never had issues. And I remember they did her saying that they didn't replace it for it having issues. I don't know if they just wanted something newer. But and this thing looks like it's gonna have a very quick spin down, and yep, it is. I'm guessing it definitely might need some oil, but the fact that it spun so crazy on each, like it spun very smoothly on each speed, and so wow, that seems to be that it doesn't, but no, that's a very quick spin down. I'm surprised that it runs so well and that the bearings aren't so stiff on it and such, but yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.